Hello sexy souls and welcome back to the channel. So before we get into this reading, I want to say a few things before we begin. I need a haircut, that's the first one. Oh my god, I don't even know what to do with my hair at the minute. I'm just like, just leave it like that. Okay, perfect. I'm thinking about getting highlights in my hair, so that's a thought that I had. Also, I may as well mention this while I see it on the camera. There's a piece of paper here. I actually have it. This was the old one. I went to a woman that does healing. She uses a machine. Too much to go into, but it's just a piece of paper that has symbols, sigils, whatever you want to call them. They're old, ancient Egyptian symbols. I don't know anything about them. I just know that they're fixing my body some way or another. So yeah, that's all that is. Okay, now getting into the things that I actually wanted to talk about. So someone has gifted me the wisdom of the oracle, and I am so grateful because honestly, I was just having a weird day and I was like, just send me something that's gonna make me smile. And my mom was like, oh, there's a parcel here for you. And I was like, what? So whoever has gifted me this, though, has not given me a name or told me who they are or anything. And I'm pretty sure I had to double check. Did I order that? But I didn't. So it's not my order. So someone obviously has definitely gifted me this. So please let me know who you are. And yeah, I will give back in some way or another. I'm not going to tell you just yet. But yeah, what else do I want to talk about? I will be using these actually today in this reading. So yeah. Oh, the last thing. I am doing a new little thing on my website as well. I'm giving an option for you to choose a 5-minute reading. And basically you ask one question and there's going to be a group of people. It's going to be one video with a group of you with your own name and timestamp, and I will be answering your question using mostly tarot because we will be short on time. However, I'm going to be doing it weekly, and if there's only, say, 5 people, then it will go a little longer. Okay, so it depends on the amount of people, but it will never be any less than 5 minutes. And also, if you want, you can, because there's only those people are going to be able to watch that video. So whoever has the link, who has purchased the reading, they'll be able to watch the video. And also, if you want, I can include your own contact details if you want, because I thought it would be nice, because sometimes, you know, if you're wanting to nosy, you can do that with other people's questions, and you might notice someone's going through something that you are, and you might want to reach out and contact them, because it'd be better because they're both of you are going through the same thing. I can't talk today if you haven't noticed. But yes, I will include the link down below to that option, and it's just something cheap and cheerful. It's a different style as well, but it'll just be like as direct as I can be to clarify a question that you've maybe had for a while. And yeah, I think that's all that I have to say. What is the video today? So I thought we all need a little bit of, you know, some positivity right now. And I thought that I would I thought that I would do a reading on your higher self and what is a wise message from your higher self that your soul wants you to hear right now. So that is what we are going to be doing today. And I have pre-pulled cards. Why can't I talk? Oh my God. I have pre-pulled cards. I need to do some kind of, I'm actually I haven't grounded myself. That's what's wrong before starting the video. Because I was like, oh, I'm just going to use cards today, so I'll be fine. No, I need to ground myself. So yeah, we have 4 piles. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, pile number 3, and pile number 4. I will see you in a second. I will hopefully be able to talk a little clearlier. Clearlier, I cannot talk, but I will in a second. So, hello, group number 1. So, I have your cards here, and I also will use some of the cards to clarify further. I first want to start off by saying that the message that I heard just when I laid them out was two people becoming one. So whatever that means for you, just know that your higher self wants you to know that there's going to be a point in the near future, or it's already kind of happened, but it's not really showing in your physical reality. But the two of you have already become one. And it's already resolved in the future, and the past has already been resolved. So right now in your moment, everything is actually fitting together, okay? It's just, I'm hearing that for some of you, we have the Nine of Wands here. So for some reason, either you have been trapped or stuck. So you've either been physically trapped, not being able to go somewhere, which would resonate for some people, or you're actually just keeping yourself trapped. You actually can, open the door, breathe in fresh air, let it all out. You are being asked to get out of your comfort zone with the Nine of Wands here, because you're being defensive, but you're actually, with this card, you're not letting anyone in at the minute because you feel that it's not the right time, or you're going through something and you don't know how to explain it, when a lot of your own issues at the minute is through fantasy. You're fantasizing about how you want things to go. And I want to let you know that when you want things to go a certain way, but the only way they're going to go that way is you have to let go. You have to detach and just let it be, let it happen. Because with this card, it's like all you have to do is step out of your comfort zone. So your higher self really wants you to, just resist, let it be. Because the minute that you do that, which you're already kind of doing it in a way, and naturally you just have to become a little bit aware of what it is that you have to do, and it'll naturally just fall into place because it's already there. It's like you're trying to those moments when you're really trying to find something and you don't know where it is, and you're getting stressed and you just don't know how to find it, or your mind can't even retrace your steps or anything. It's one of those moments. It's like, what if you just sit down and just breathe, you'll be like, oh, actually that's where it is, and then you'll find it. You know what I mean? It's already there. It's in your reality. You just can't see it because you're creating your own fog on another solar, or on your soul level. It's just a little foggy. Okay, we have the Wheel of Fortune here as well. So this was kind of the two becoming one. It was like everything is becoming neutralized. Everything is calming down. So I do think that maybe some of you, because this could be a friend as well, or it could be a same-sex relationship, which I was feeling that it has that kind of energy. But the Four of Wands is usually about like friendships and family and being together and just feeling like secure with each other. So that's really what you're passionate about. You're passionate about just everything fitting all together, and that's where you hold a little bit of, that's your own little karma that your soul wants you to know about. But know that it's not always a bad thing to be like that. You want everything to be strong, and that's why you're such a strong person. And I'm hearing that loud and clear. Your soul wants you to know you are such a strong person with really deep roots, and you get it. You get the human aspect of this reality. You really understand that we need the physical to be able to create. You understand this, group number one, and I've seen the deep rooted with this Queen of Wands. Your roots are so deep. That's why she sits on her throne that is a tree, because you have a lot of wisdom anyway, and you sometimes can see the good that people don't see in themselves, and that sometimes frustrates you. And know that this is something that you shouldn't battle with. You never should be battling with this, like I shouldn't try and fix people. And yeah, that's okay, but when you're wanting to help someone that you know loves you, you have to also kind of be able to judge when it is the right time to help someone as well, because we sometimes hear a lot that you can't fix anyone. That's true, and you kind of already know that in your own soul, but it hurts you to see people be a certain way, okay? Because you, group number 1, fully have mastered, and you've went the journey. The Queen of Wands is about a journey, but this journey is different. This is a journey home. This is a journey home, and home for me is inside here. You've created your own home, and when I mean, I see an aura that's quite strong, almost like glass, and that nothing can actually penetrate your aura right now. So it's just understanding that, because when we come back to this, it's like you have done a lot of work on yourself recently, but for some reason there is a little bit of a fear here. What is this fear that you have? Is it a fear that something might go wrong and you might fall back down into a state of not knowing? Because that is somewhere that a lot of people are afraid to go. And for you, group number 1, I feel like that's exactly where you need to go. You need to let go and not know. Okay? So for some reason, maybe you, group number 1, are looking too deep into things. And because this is a pairing isn't such a bad thing, because your wishes are being granted, but you're blocking them. So it's exactly what I said, like you've lost something and you don't know where it is, but it's in your home. It's inside you. You just have to let yourself kind of calm down a little second, because you're very passionate, and that was the number 1 thing here, is you're passionate about this connection, because this connection is truly what makes you happy. So if it is a friend, know that they are going to be fine as long as you are fine. And that is something that I'm hearing as well. Okay, I want to read now from a new deck. So I'm going to pull a card for you. And I'm going to read it from the book, because this is a new deck and I want to see how it feels. I've wanted this deck for such a long time, since I think it was one of the first Oracle decks I've ever seen. And I was like, wow. And then I just started going down the rabbit hole of, there's the owl. I said about you being wise. When I see the owl, I see a wise soul. Something as well that I feel is that when I said lost, sorry, I'm just picking up things from this. So it says, it is truth be told. If you can see the little mask here, and the window, so wisdom, opening up wisdom, like I said, opening up about what you see, what you feel, and what you want to speak about as well, and not hiding behind the mask, because I feel like that's what's kind of going on here. And the number 14, does the number 14 feel? Again, I'm seeing the number 4 to do linking with this, and the number 1 is 2 becoming 1, okay? Because 4 is about a home environment, and everyone living in that home is 1. They are a family, okay? So 2 becoming 1, but I'm seeing it, the 4, yeah, anyway, you get where my mind goes sometimes. But that is where I'm picking that up from, and I will read this card. There's different sections of it, but I will read the message that has to do with relationship, because this is where we're kind of headed with that. So your soul wants you to know that people tell you who they are very quickly if you're willing to listen to what they say and pay attention to how they behave. This card tells you to engage in heartfelt, open conversation. It's time to see the truth about what you share with each other and tell the truth about who you are and what you need. No one can do that for you. Remember that your truth is always based on your personality and experience up to now. A higher truth will be found after you communicate honestly and see how you're doing. Communicate honestly and see how doing so, sorry, my brain, has helped you become more attuned to yourself. Don't hold back. Speak your truth and listen. Okay, so it's speaking your truth and listening is the main thing, because I feel like that's to do with this. And the speaking your truth, like not being afraid that someone's going to say something that's going to upset you and make you put up your walls and defend. And also listening. I feel like you guys are a little bit of the daydreamers who do look out the window and aren't paying attention to sometimes the things in the moment. And your soul wants you to know that you have so many gifts, and the best one is your imagination and how you use your own wisdom to make it into something new. That's your biggest gift, okay? And you make your own path very clearly. You can see your own path very clearly, and it's exciting. But sometimes you get a little carried away and you create too many different scenarios. It's not that they're bad scenarios, they're just choose one. Choose one and go with that, because you can't have them all. You can't have all the visualizations, because then it's just too many, like you're picking up too many different things, okay? So your soul is quite happy with this new passion that you have, let's say, and it wants you to know that everything is exactly where it needs to be, in the sense of security with this person and this passion and connection that you hold with someone, okay? So yeah, I hope that was a nice message for you. And please leave a comment down below if it resonated, and I will see you all in the future. Goodbye. Hello, group number 2. Well, I didn't look at the cards. I just shuffled beforehand. And this is some intense energy. What have you been doing? Group number 2. You guys, I just want to start off by saying we have, I'll just show you this so you can get where I'm coming from. So we have the moon, okay? And then if you can see, this moon card has got the mother maiden and the crone again. And here we have it again. We have the high priestess. So these are all connected. We have the moon, which is connected with this imagery, and then we have the high priestess, which is connected with the high priestess over here. So you have been dipping into some deep and spiritual stuff. And let me tell you, there is some sort of connection here with the mother, the maiden, and the crone as well. So there is some of you that are diving into more occult knowledge, and you're learning more about it on a deeper level, on a level that most people don't really pay much attention to. Like most people are like, oh, manifesting and spells and like little white candles and stuff. And you're more of the knowledge, because I'm hearing now you have mastered something. You've mastered something, and it's your time to use it, because I feel like you are also going to be very successful in healing the masculine. So that could be the masculine energy within yourself. But I feel more so that it is to do with healing the masculine energy of those who have wounded masculine energy around you, because that's kind of what your new kind of desire is, to bring peace to men and people that have wounded masculine energy. So I'm getting that. I don't know as well, there's some weird, there's a lot of mystical, magical stuff going on here, and I'm not exactly sure I am going to have to clarify more of this because it just was so straight through. But I do want to say that, okay, with the moon, you've been using energy. Okay, so you've been using energy to kind of learn more about this. So you mightn't even understand it, but your psychic gifts or whatever abilities you've been learning about, they've been helping you with this, and it's been leading things out for you. The books that you are reading were there obviously for a reason, and there's certain things that you've read about that you mightn't understand this, but you have downloaded information that other people haven't discovered yet, and you might think that it's common knowledge, but it's not. It's why I'm seeing. Again, there's another male here. Sorry, my nose just got super itchy. There is a male here, and I was looking at the way he's holding the pentacle there, and then the little Buddha belly here. So he has a little belly, and then this. So it was telling me that it had to do with nutrition as well. So maybe you are learning a little bit more about health and nutrition and things like that. So that could be information that you're reading up on, some of you. But others, it's like, now is your time. You think that you're not ready to start and share what it is that you want to share, but now is the perfect time because you've done the work on both sides. You've read the books, which is a very like logical thing. So that's your masculine kind of energy, and then your feminine energy you've let your feminine energy just guide you. You've let yourself go with the flow and learn whatever wanted to come in. Okay, so honestly, and I feel like a lot of you as well might really like this time of year as well, so just enjoy it, because we have the pumpkins there as well. So this might be a year that you've come into your power on a whole other level. And I can't wait. I want to clarify a little bit more here. I want to clarify the Page of Pentacles. What is the Page of Pentacles to do with? Because this also is to do with a younger man in your life that maybe you want to attract or you want to get a little bit of help from. King of Swords. So yes, there's a male that is very intellectual, and again we have books where there's a lot of books in this. So you're manifesting a lot of knowledgeable people into your life, people that are able to take you to the next step. So this could be a teacher that you've got your eye on, or something along those lines. But as well with the Page of Pentacles, sorry, I just realized that this was just where you're at right now. Your soul. So let's just say your soul is quite proud of how far you've come, because you've let your soul kind of guide you. You're really living your soul's purpose at the minute, is what I'm picking up, because I just realized I was just kind of going into the energy of what I'm picking up. But when we look at the bigger picture, what your soul wants to tell you, you're doing exactly what they want you to do. And you're attracting the people exactly that need to be in your life at this moment in time. So this King of Swords and this Page of Pentacles, the energy combined, because I was clarifying that, is you have someone that's very intellectual and you like the way that they speak, but you're not sure of how well they can help you further on down the line. So I don't know what that is. I can't pinpoint it, but you see some sort of immaturity in things that they have been known to do. Okay, so I hope that makes sense. I also want to clarify this High Priestess energy in the middle. I want to. And then we will pull an oracle card. Two of Swords. Guys, you're in between worlds at the minute. You're doing something weird. I don't know. Your energy's doing something weird. Your soul is helping you tap in to hidden truths. There's information coming in, guys, and you need to listen to it. Your soul really wants you to listen to it. So whenever you're getting an idea, don't just put on the blindfold and just, you need to really, really now pay attention to thoughts that are guiding you. You're literally being divinely guided in the direction that you need to go and walk your path. Okay? Swords is about thoughts, and because it's blindfolded, it's not really communication. It's communication from a divine source, which is the moon. You guys manifest on the full moon. Do something on the full moon that it could literally just be journaling in a little book or something. I don't know why I was going to pull out a journal. My journal. I'm not going to show you my journal. But literally like doing something on a full moon, which is, like, I'm trying to see my calendar. I can't see it. There's 2 full moons, I think, this month. So this is a big month for you. And we have, I feel like it's asking you, because here we have, in the background, we have, it's almost going into the new moon. So I think you need something on a full moon and closing it on a new moon. So there is huge potential to manifest what it is that you want in your life. Okay? Wow. I love this pile. Your soul, man. Your soul is like, you must have been doing a lot of work recently on letting yourself just receive the truth and just try, and you're not judging things, which is great. You're not judging anything, and that's what I like to see in people's energy. I like to see people holding themselves in this kind of state where, you know, you're not afraid to fail as well, which is great. You're kind of just letting things be the way that they need to be. Let's just get a clarifier now. Imagine. Okay, so we have imagine. And I just want to look at the imagery. Wow. And the moon's there again, obviously. You have a real deep connection with the moon, and also connecting with water. I talk about it all the time, but right now we need to start. I literally talk to my water. There's so much stuff that I could go into about water, and I will eventually one day. But I talk to my water, and I'm telling you, it works wonders. I have a little altar over there. It's not really witchcraft, because I'm just honoring the element of water, and I have been doing that for quite some time. And even with this healing, it has to do with water as well. I'm being guided by the water. So as well, you're being guided by the moon and the water, and the changes in the seasons as well. And pay attention to the weather. The weather, like at the minute, the weather is really wet over here, and I'm someone who really sees the weather as me. So when I look at the weather and it's wet like today, it's like today is a day for me to properly just sit with myself and let myself purge, kind of, because I have been kind of purging today. I feel good, but I feel also a little bit drained, and that's why I'm not channeling as much today. So I listen to my body, but I also listen to the weather. I think that that's something that's going to benefit you guys. But imagine, let's just read it from the book, and I'm going to read it from number 20. Okay, this is a powerful time to get clear on how you create your prosperity, what it means to you to be prosperous, and what attributes you need to develop in yourself to make things happen. Who do you need to be to live out your dreams? Can you imagine the kind of life you desire? Really imagine it, without holding back the sheer force of your powers of creativity. If you can envision it, you can have it. Get ready, for prosperity is waiting for you to claim it now. Act as if your dreams are really coming true. I think that's what you've mastered, guys. I think you've realized that if I want to feel wealthy, I have to treat myself as if I am wealthy. And that's something that I feel like you've discovered. And you are also learning so much from other people. I feel like you're learning something from mentors as well, which could be why this is here. You're learning stuff from mentors. People are teaching you along the way. Such an amazing energy. I really, really love this. But yeah, let me know if this resonated. And leave a comment down below what your story is, because I would love to kind of read a little bit to see what this is, because this is such an interesting energy, especially like the connection with the moon that's coming up a lot for people lately, but this was like strong. So I feel like you really need to build that connection with the moon. And yeah, thank you all for watching, sexy souls, and I will see you all in the future. Goodbye. Hello, group number 3. So this is a deeper message than the others. It's still a very positive message, but I feel like I'm going to be touching on a little bit of a touchy subject for some of you. Some of you are probably already kind of getting over it and you just want to hear now how you're doing, and that's great. So the biggest thing I want to start off with saying is you've literally, this year probably has been a massive like endings and beginnings and endings or whatever. It just seems like you cleared out a lot of shit, basically. So that could be your career and your relationship and your health and your, it's like it's all of it kind of all at once. And I feel like you aren't really sure where life is going to take you now. But let me tell you, from what I'm hearing here already, is your soul is so sorry, kind of. But again, sorry, not sorry kind of thing, because they had to get you out of a shit situation, because you weren't really letting yourself be guided at that time when everything was kind of hitting the fan. So they had to show you in the most difficult way, because I'm going to show you here. We have the 2 of Wands and we also have the 8 of Swords, okay? And if you can see in this card, for example, first we will hold this card. There is someone who's sitting there and they're thinking about life and whatever, but they don't realize that they're tied down. So, you know, they're going to just sit there happily and pay attention to the birds and noises and whatever. And we also have the 8 of Swords here. So there is a fire there. There's a fire in the background, and something's getting hot and heavy. And I feel like this is where you were, and you were going to get burned either way. So you have to let go of whoever that is in the background, this bull energy. You had an angry, either the bull is representing your trauma or your own internal anger, or it's talking about something even more. I don't know why, I've never picked that up before, but this bull in the background is like a protector, but not in a nice way. It's almost like this is the protector. It's almost like the roles have been shifted. You know, people keep animals in a cage, but this animal, whoever this animal is, was keeping you and treating you like you were in a cage and tying you up and keeping you, I hope it doesn't, that's very, very deep, but literally, you mightn't, that was very, to the extent of like, whoa, not literally tying you up, but keeping you in a state of not being able to go anywhere because you felt guilty or whatever. So this could be a relationship or just a situation that didn't really have the best interest for you. Because again, we have the Five of Pentacles, and it just, you're not welcome there. There's a lock on that door. You're not welcome there. But just be careful about the people as well that are saying things, because sometimes in that card, the person holding the woman is like trying to act like they are treating them well. So you really need to now start understanding that no one is going to save you from yourself but yourself. Okay, you have to get out of this codependent, because everyone's a little bit codependent in some aspect, but you need to realize that your issue was you felt like you can't do anything for yourself right now, so you're just letting others take the lead, and that's not to say that you don't have control over your life, but you literally need to let go of all of the ideas that you've been holding. You literally have to let go of the ones that were controlling you and take back your own control, because your soul wants you to know. I have the Fool here, and I have the World. You've kind of come full circle, but now it's literally up to you to take the leap. It's up to you to go after the things that scare you. With this Fool card, he's literally going over the edge. He's aiming for that apple, without any fear of going through anything like that again, because you've went through the most of it you can. Your soul doesn't want you to think that there's another lesson there waiting for you. You've literally started so fresh. Like, you literally went through most of the stuff that you needed to go through this year probably, and you've cleared out so much, and your soul is just kind of like, it's okay. Like, nothing bad's going to happen. You have so much time to start practicing this, okay? It's not like you need to let go of everything right now, because that's not healthy. You need to just start knowing yourself one step at a time. And you don't have to think, what do I need to let go of? What do I need to write down? The things that I need to... No, it's not about writing down. It's about just being and experiencing the moment and just going one step at a time and forgiving yourself. Forgiveness is the main thing here, okay? I want to just clarify, because I feel like your mind is it's in a better place, and it's kind of starting to realize things. So want a little bit of, okay, that card. Okay, we have the Seven of Swords. I'll just show you these all together. We have Temperance. So we have that you're starting to come back into balance again, and you're seeing things from both sides now, and that's what's giving you a lot of healing. You're starting to see the side that you never saw before, where it was like you put too much trust. You felt like you were putting, you felt like you had them under your spell, or you had people in control, and you thought that you were, having a little bit of fun with things, and it just wasn't working out. You were cheating yourself. You were cheating on yourself, okay? Because with the Seven of Swords here, it's like that place is no longer vacant anymore. You can't live there. That's not a place. That room in there is not a place that you want to be. That's not where your soul wanted you to be, and it had to get you out. It's like you didn't really have anyone to come and save you, so your soul had to do something to show you that this is not okay anymore. And now that you're over it, your soul's like, okay, now we can talk. Now I can show you a little bit of hope. Hope's a funny word. Not hope. Show you the way. You just now have to start listening to these these new ways of thinking that are coming into your head. You're going to have new thoughts. You're going to have new, like, aha, that's what that was about. You're going to click things together, and this is bringing you into the divine feminine energy that you actually need. Because I don't normally see this Empress always is like the Empress energy that I truly resonate with, like in normal tarot other cards. This one's a little bit more of like sensual in a little bit of a magic way, because she has her hand and she's like creating. She's creating with her hands, and she's not necessarily creating in the motherly way. I don't know, there's a different vibe to this, and the way that the clock is, it just always gives me a different vibe in that card. I can't ever. And then the cards that usually come with it, we have the Seven of Swords. These two together, just, it's telling me that you weren't in a place that you thought maybe you were in the right spot in your life, and things were working okay, but it's actually you were deceived. You weren't seeing it clearly, and that's why certain things had to happen this way, because there was no way of getting you back to realizing that that's not the way you want to go. It's not the way you want to go, and now I need to do something that's going to make you a little bit like, what the fuck, okay? So, I will take a message. This is going to be read from the book, because this deck's new, and I love reading books, or I love seeing how the book reads. That only lasts like a week for me, and then I just use my own intuition, because I have a tendency to just see the cards and read them, and then I get my own messages quickly. Okay. I love this card. Observer. Okay. So we have Observer. There's a little fox there, and he's looking up at the moon. Some of you as well, I'm picking up that you may have had to go back home. I don't know why I'm picking that up. Some of you may have had to talk to family and friends and see what they are saying. But right now is definitely a time of observing your thoughts and observing what's happening around you. It's not really a time for you to react on anything. You need to just stay in a place of just letting things play out the way that they are right now, and letting yourself take time to rest and heal, and your soul's going to reward you so much better if you just slow the fuck down. Literally, like hearing, I heard like a car just going, when they pull on the brakes. So it's like, slow the F down is what I basically heard. Because I feel like you're just getting out of the house and let's doing this, and I want to go do that, and I want to just take my mind off things. Taking your mind off things only works for so far of the journey, until you have to deal with your thoughts sometimes to transmute that energy. So, essential meanings is perspective, neutral observation from a distance. So yes, distance is a good thing here as well. Seeing what's happening from a distance of what has happened. So kind of, that means like you literally are not even there anymore. You're not in that situation, but it's like, if you want to observe things, you have to observe it from the not really knowing what's going on. So if you're wanting to check up on someone or seeing what they think that might have been to do with that situation, your soul doesn't want you to do that. Your soul, you should never really do that anyway. You need to take time to heal. But yeah, I just want to see here. Sometimes you can't see the forest for the trees in your way. Feelings can get all jumbled up, and often you hear one thing when a person says another. It can be like an echo of an unresolved past experience dubbed over your conversation. Take time out before you react. It's likely that the other person has no idea how his or her words have affected you. Take a few steps back and lend understanding to the situation. Have faith in your connection and trust that you can come together, take a higher ground now, and cultivate curiosity about what you observe in yourself, in others, and in the landscape. You will find things much improved sooner than you know. I just want to ask here, because I heard check up that first, because I said something there and I wasn't sure if that is right, because I feel like you might pick it up in the way that I don't want you to pick it up. So I'm going to clarify this Eight of Swords, and it's going to be in regards to the person that I was feeling that was keeping you trapped. Okay, exactly what I thought. Magician. So manipulative energy. Okay, so whatever I read there and you pick up, I'm not talking about necessarily things are going to be resolved right now, so don't think that it is. Things are being resolved for you on a different, on a higher thing, okay? It's about you coming together with yourself right now, because a magician, it doesn't always mean that they're bad, but in this card, it doesn't, it's the other way. But with this magician card, I always see it as like the occult, because there is the occult symbolism, and I know that's in most of the tarot cards, but with this one, it's just like the cape, the sword, the way, the trickery in the feeling of that card is what I was feeling for that person. And I think, like, let's see, if you were to go and talk to this person, how would it be? If you were to go and talk to this person, we have Five of Wands. Pure chaos. No, that is not what I want you to think here. I want you to think that now is the time for you to completely distance yourself from this person, and there is no way that it's going to work right now if you go and talk to this person. They're going to cause a lot of chaos, because you're not in your true power yet. Things are still too fresh. So this is something that your soul just was like, had to show you, had to teach you, and you're going to look back on this and be like, thank the Lord, I am out of this situation. I am away from these people, this person, whatever it is. This is true narcissistic energy here, and you're going to not know what's coming. Your soul, for me, has a whole different life planned for you, a whole complete life that you deserve, because just with the energy I'm picking up, like, it's good, but it mightn't feel good. But your soul just wants you to know that everything is exactly where it needs to be right now. You're starting fresh, and things are going to work out perfect from here on in regards to people treating you a certain way. You're not dealing with that anymore. You're going to attract good people into your life, okay? So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Group number 3, was it? Group number 3. Leave a comment down below, and I will see you all in the future. Goodbye. Hello, group number 4. So I just want to start off by saying, anyone that felt like from group number 3 that they wanted to watch group number 4 as well, it's similar energy here, but I have a different storyline, so it probably won't resonate if you came from group number 3. I'm not sure though. We have similar energy here. So we have, for example, it's just a different, I don't think that most people need to be watching this from group number 3, because you already have your message. We have the Three of Swords. We have the Three of Pentacles reversed. We have the Devil. We have the Lovers. And again, similar energy again. We have the Fool. I am going to have to clarify a little here, because it's just so similar, but there are a few things that I need to see a little more here, because I'm hearing different things with certain cards. I just need to do Okay, I feel like this has to do with your soul is giving you a choice right now to walk away or to keep going the way that you have been going. Empress again. That came from group number 3 as well. So we have the Empress. Right, this is going to... I have to just clear this out of the way first, because these are not the greatest cards in the world. And your soul has like something it really wants to tell you. Okay. We're going to keep clarifying in a minute. Right, so obviously you have went through something as well where you had to just make a choice. Is this person right to be living with, let's say, the most? Because you really care for this person. We have the Lovers. Lovers is about choice as well. And then with the Four of Wands reversed, it's 2 people again. It's more of a friendship energy here. Okay, but it just, they're not... For me, it seems like this person hasn't been, you know, up to your standards, basically. And your soul was like, nah, you can't have people like that who aren't willing to give back, okay? So we have the 3 of Pentacles reversed here with the 4 of Wands reversed. It's like you've been attracting people that are not team players, and you need to now see that you're going to keep getting yourself in situations where it's hurting you and only you if you don't start setting boundaries with the people in your life and not letting people walk over you. It's time for you to kind of begin anew, and your soul is ready for you to start moving into this new transition. And I want to pull some cards on that, because the Fool we have over here. So you've obviously just... Sorry, my nose is really itchy. I think it's that incense that I was using. Some of them affect me differently. With the Fool over here and the Three of Swords. I want to just clarify what your soul wants to let you know about this heartache or this pain. I feel like you haven't been necessarily giving in the right way either. King of Wands. Okay, with the King of Wands, it's like your soul wants you to know that now is the perfect time for you to appreciate the people that are there to listen to you. Your real friends, your family members are really there for you. And this is when you're going to start to understand that it's not worth your time being nice to everybody. And that's just the truth. It's not all love and light. And love and light means that I'm not nice to everybody. Well, I'm not mean to anyone, but I'm not always like... I'm not fake, let's just say it like that. I'm not being nice just for the sake of being nice. Most of the time, I, myself, have to take myself away from a situation because it's making me on edge, it's making me angry, but that's not my anger. I'm grounded. And if someone sets me off, I'm off. Bye, see you later. That's kind of where your soul is wanting you to go. Being like, nah, taking a risk, leaving the, bye, abandoned ship, gone, off the cliff, see you later, not doing this. You would rather just get away than have to deal with certain situations. And your soul is teaching you that now. Your soul is being like, I can pack up and go because I'm not dealing with that anymore. And it's time for you to really be grateful that you are able to do this, because a lot of people are not. A lot of people need to have these around them, these people around them, because they can't see a future where they're able to be happy in themselves and only themselves. And that's what the Fool's all about. The Fool is a journey that's so like, you don't know what's happening, but you don't care as long as it's an adventure, and as long as you're open to learning that sometimes in life we have to fall down. And no matter what, the sun and the moon here, everything that's bad that happens to us is a good thing. And sometimes when you are too good of a person, you get treated like... How many times have you been in a job where you've done so much work and then only to be treated like crap from your boss. That's the kind of thing. When you're so good and you are so giving, you don't get back the same in return. And some people mightn't agree with that, but this is what it's telling you. This is what your soul is definitely wanting you to know. Is like right now, this is where you are at. You need to start creating for yourself, and it's time to realize that a lot of the people you've been trying to impress is like you trying to impress the devil. It's not going to work. They're going to keep you thinking that, you know, they're going to help you out somewhere along the line, and that's just not good enough. You've realized this, and your soul is so happy that it's come to this point for you, because now you're in it for yourself. Now you understand it for yourself, and it's not a selfish thing here at all, because if it was, I wouldn't be looking at these cards. This is someone who has been through a lot and been treated like shit, and none of that's happening anymore for you, group number 4. It's like finally this is your year where you've realized that all of the drama, the heartbreak, the things being pulled away from you, the people being absolutely horrible to you, was all to take you to where you are right now. And that is, I feel like you've opened the biggest opportunity door. I don't know why I've seen that in my vision. It's like you've opened a huge door, obviously where we are here. It's like you're starting to love life again. You're starting to love life and this adventure. I want to pull just a few little cards of what your soul... Whoa, that was a weird... That card like just... Oh! Well, it makes sense why it flew out of the... Literally flew out of the deck. We have the 8 of Wands. Something's going to start happening fast, and it could be to do with travel, because the Fool with the 8 of Wands means there is a massive, that's why I've seen a massive door opening. There's a massive opportunity coming your way, and and we also have at the end of the deck the 10 of Wands. It's you're walking away from a place that was once a place that you could call home, but now it no longer sits well with you. It now is somewhere that you can't see yourself living there, and you probably never realized that you would ever say that, but it's just you're starting to see that there's way more to life than what you're living. Again, 5 of Wands. You have been hanging around people that just have not been the greatest. They've just been causing a lot of chaos. There's just been a lot of arguments and a lot of petty shit. Blah. I just don't like it. So let's see, what does your soul want you to know about where you're going to be going, what this opportunity is going to bring you. Seven of Cups. So many different options, and the real one I'm looking at is love. I am seeing that. You're going to be learning about love probably next year. A little bit more on that, because I was so focused on the cup. There's a cup there with a heart in the middle, the one that I felt like he was looking straight at. So Temperance. You're going to be having a balanced relationship with yourself and the outside world. And when we're talking about relationships as in love life, it's going to be balanced. So spread your wings and fly, because the bird is leaving, the chick is leaving the nest. I feel like some of you may be younger, some of you not maybe, but some of you may be just dipping your toes into new waters. I just looked at that, her dipping her toe into the water. You're going to a new location, completely new, and that's what's coming for you, and maybe you're starting to think more and more about it, and it's getting there. I feel like a lot as well, a lot of you have dealt with really not so nice housemates, people that were just messy and things like that, just with that energy as well. Kind of, it was all a lot of people that were similar in your energy. You're not going to attract that anymore. You're going to get really, if you're wanting to move somewhere and you're afraid of having housemates, you're going to attract someone who's on a nice vibration. That's where your soul wants you to be. You're going to attract someone that's great as a housemate. And then the relationships are going to be different. You're going to be probably around different culture or something. It's all different, all good, all endings with that. The death card and the devil card, it's like you got the shit cleared out of the closet, okay? Time to go. Time to go. I mean, I don't need to read from the book probably, but I do want to read from the book. 45 as well. 45 is an ending number. Ending, new beginning. A lot of decks have, I think there's more than 45 cards, but usually some of my decks end on 45. My voice is going. There's different messages. So I feel like for you, group number 4, I want to really read the protection message. I'm not going to read the relationship message just because it's not a time for you to be focusing on relationships. So I don't feel like that's right. As in like romantic relationships. Obviously the people around you that love you, yes, but not romance right now. Even if it appears that you've reached the end of the line and all is lost, it isn't. You're in a situation that will resurface again later, so consider this a break rather than an ending. Destiny is in charge here. You lose nothing and gain everything when you surrender to that fact. Your soul knows what your destiny is unfolding with the perfect timing and synchronicity. Your small self doubts, but that is natural, as it doesn't have the map of your destiny. The soul does. Spirit loves you, trust that. Okay. So, I just want to really actually read over that again, because that was a weird message from what I was feeling. What did it say? It said, even if it appears you've reached the end of the line and all is lost, it isn't. You're in a situation that will resurface again later, so consider this a break rather than an ending. What is that? What is that talking about? Because it's saying something is going to resurface again, so this is a break rather than an ending. But everything I've been feeling is that you've ended it. What will resurface? Sorry, I don't take everything. This is not to do with the relationship. If you have been in a relationship, or it hasn't to do with friends or anything like that. This has to do with your father figure in your life and them not being the nicest. It's coming from there. So it's basically saying getting away, going somewhere that is far, far away from what it is that you're having to deal with. It's not the right time for you to be dealing with this manipulative kind of person who speaks kind of nasty. Okay? You're not dealing with that. You're getting a break. You're getting a break to go travel or do whatever. And you will have to deal with it probably. Again, because this person is someone who's in your family circle. It mightn't be a father figure or mightn't even be your father, but it is male energy that has been made you be tricked into this kind of manipulative energy. So you're getting a break, but when you come back, you're going to have to deal with it. But your soul is basically saying, trust that you will be ready to deal with it. You will be a lot stronger. And trust me when I say, now when I have people that treat me like that, because I've been here, if I have anyone that treats me like that, they can never get away with it. Because I don't let them. It's nothing ever turns negative, nothing turns dark or angry or me getting all down on myself again. I literally just deal with it in a really good way, and your own soul's journey will show you the way on how you can deal with that as well. And for you, group number 4, if you do want a personal reading, comment or message me down below, because I feel like some of you might be interested, because I can kind of resonate with you, as I feel like a lot of this is something that I've already kind of been through for some people, and we could probably talk about it and get some other things out. But yeah, this is a general reading, and I'm going to end it there because that was quite long. But leave a comment down below if it did make any sense. And I thank you all so much for watching. My voice is going, I don't know why, but I will see you all in the future. Goodbye.